now so let's review another topic that's relevant to qualifying. Now, for example, we have a lot of customers that you ask them for their proof of insurance or their any type of insurance history, and they're very they're negative or they're defensive, okay, and they tell you no. Well, why does that matter?
Right.
Does that make sense? So there's a way of asking for information. So why don't we talk about that? It could be very easy. It could be very easy to obtain information. Okay. Now the biggest factor is the approach. How are we asking? So for example, if I ask you, Ignacio, do you have your proof of insurance?
No, I'm with me.
You're probably going to answer. You're going to give me a negative response.
Right.
Now, if I give you an introduction first, and then I ask you, for instance, I could tell you, look, Ignacio, since you do have insurance, okay, and you've been insured for the last 6 months, I have a very good option for you, okay? I'm not 100% sure if you know that having insurance, okay, it automatically gives you a guarantee of 20 to 25% of a discount. This discount is called a loyalty discount, okay? And this is something that you currently qualify for, okay? The only thing that I need is just your policy number. Is it possible for you to go to your car and bring me your policy number so I could add the policy number into my system and I could apply those 20 to 25% of a discount? Once again, insurance companies want to reward you for having insurance, for driving with insurance, okay? And as an incentive, since you do have insurance, they'll give you 20 to 25% off. So that's technically the discount. So we're talking about a good chunk of money.
A huge different approach.
So that's a different approach, okay? So all we're doing is just switching the approach, being a little bit more detailed. For example, and this is across the board, okay, in general. Now, customers are very interested in knowing what's going on. They want to know, why are you asking me for this information? Why am I paying X amount of money for my monthly payment? Why do I need to pay an X amount of money to start my policy? Does it make sense? There's always why. So every time you give them an option, or every time you ask for something, they're gonna ask you why. Maybe they're not gonna ask you verbally, but this is what they're thinking. Then we have the other customers that are very vocal about their way of thinking, and they're gonna tell you, why does that matter? You give me your information, and then I'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they are.
Why do you want to know? I'm here to get a quote, not to give you the information that I have. And does it make sense? Of course, absolutely. They're here to get a quote. Who cares about how much they're paying? But of course, we know that that's very essential for us, okay, to know how much are they paying, who do they have, why are they shopping around, okay? If they're telling us that they're paying $150 a month and the lowest that we have is $200, then this is already a red flag for us. So we want to compare apple to apple. Are they really being honest about the information? And the only way that we can confirm the information is to look it up through their insurance company, look up their policy, and confirm their monthly payment. So therefore, we need the policy number. So how are we going to obtain the policy number when a customer is telling us, I don't want to give it to you? By giving them a reason why they should.
An incentive.
So an incentive, a reward, okay? A discount, a bonus, whatever terminology you want to use, but adding value to those documents. So in this case, if I tell you, look, do you want to save money?
Of course.
Who's gonna tell you no? That's the reason why they're here. So if I tell you, look, Ignacio, do you really want to save money today?
Of course I do. Yes.
Then I need you to do me a favor.
What is it?
Okay? And this is technically the way I work. Okay? Now my job is to help you as much as I can. My job is to add as many discounts as possible, discounts that you qualify for. Okay? And there's actually one discount that's gonna make a big difference, and it's called loyalty discount. Let me tell you exactly how this works. How long have you been insured?
About a year.
About a year. This is more than enough for you to get rewarded, okay? For you to get some sort of incentive for following the law. Now let me tell you something that the insurance companies are doing today that they weren't doing last year, okay? Automatically, if you have 6 months to 12 months, which equals a year, okay, of having an active policy, you automatically qualify for 20 to 25% off. That's a big difference. So the only thing that I need from you, and like I said, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go to your car and get me your proof of insurance, so I could add your policy number to the quote, so I could apply those 20 to 25% off. Okay, we're talking of the whole premium, so you're getting 20% off of the premium. So whatever you're paying, if you're paying $100, I may be able to find something for $75, $80. That's how much of a difference it makes. Okay, and once again, you're getting rewarded for following the law. So do me a favor, just your policy number. That's all I need. Who's gonna tell you no? You just added value to the situation. You went ahead and gave them a reason, a logical reason. You added the fact that you're gonna save them money. There's a different topic when we talk about interacting with customers, right? That's exactly what I did as well. I interacted with you. I told you, do you want to save money? Okay, can you help me out? You know, and I asked you a couple of questions within my presentation to make sure that you're paying attention 100%. And I gave you, okay, what you want, which is an incentive. I gave you a discount. I gave you a reason for you to go to your car and provide me with your policy number. I guarantee you 90% of the customers will give you a different response, because if they tell you no, then you could just justify by telling them, so do you really want to save money or what? Because you're here to get a quote. You're here obviously with the objective of finding something lower. Now, I have something lower. I just need your policy number. That's all I need, bro. Just your policy number. Just bring me your policy number so I can save you some money. Either way, you want to save money?
Yes.
And they're going to say yes. And then if you don't get them on the first attempt, you're going to get them on the second attempt. Why? Because it makes sense. You're literally telling them, look, do you want to save money? Yes or no? Because if you do, just go outside. Get me your policy number. And I guarantee you, customers are going to give you a different response for the fact that they don't feel like you're doing it in a negative way. Now they know why you're doing it. And I don't know if you remember, maybe like 2 minutes ago, I told you that the majority of the customers, they have a question. Do you know what the question is?
Why?
Why? Why do you need my paperwork? So if you give them an introduction before you ask them, you're going to answer this why. So before they even ask, before it even crosses their thoughts. So there's no longer a why. All they're going to do is either choose to tell you yes, or they're going to get up and they're going to tell you, I'll be right back. Does it make sense?
Exactly.
So they're not going to give you any objections. They're not going to give you any negatives. They're going to agree because it makes sense. And this could be for anything. When you're asking them for their checking account, if they have a debit, a checking account or a debit card, they're going to ask you why. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if I tell you, look, Ignacio, I'm not 100% sure if you know a discount that the majority of the companies are offering today, and that's technically for someone that has a checking account, or a debit card, or a credit card. Technically, the way these companies work, they have an option called electronic fund transfer, which technically they'll deduct the monthly payment from their checking account. Now this automatically gives you anywhere from 10 to 15% off. So you'll be anywhere from $5 to $15 less on your monthly payment. So technically, the way the insurance companies look at the situation, by you setting up your payments to be deducted from their checking account, they're looking at your policy as a long-term policy, meaning that you will keep the policy a lot longer than anybody else. So therefore, they're going to reward you. They're going to give you a discount, okay, for being a long-term customer, for committing to maintain a policy a lot longer, because you're using your checking account, which is confidential information, and they'll give you a discount. So now, if I give you this presentation and then I ask you, do you have a checking account? Do you have the information with you? Wouldn't your response be a lot different?
Yes.
Now, I've had a lot of customers that when you ask them, do you want to use their checking account, you know what they say?
Why?
No. They say no. I don't want to use it. I don't trust it. I've had issues in the past. So then I come back and I tell them, look, 99% of the customers that use EFT, not only are they saving money, it's more convenient, okay? And it guarantees your monthly payment to be on time all the time. So that eliminates any late payments, any additional fees, and most importantly, that eliminates driving, what,
Their car,
okay?
driving as many miles as they have to
Without insurance.
without insurance.
Because if their payment is late, what does that mean?
They're not insured.
The policy is canceled, there's no coverage. So as soon as I tell you, look, Ignacio, I know you may not feel comfortable with using your checking account, but just to let you know, 99% of my customers that use checking account, they're completely satisfied. Why? Number one, because it's more convenient. You no longer have to call, log online, or mail the payment, okay? They deduct the payment automatically from your checking account, so that makes it more convenient. Number two, you eliminate any late payments, you eliminate any late fees, and most importantly, if you're late, okay, you're driving without insurance. So it eliminates the possibility of you making a late payment and driving without insurance. Wouldn't that convince you to think about it twice?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm giving you reasons why you should consider it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, once again, when we talk about asking for information, the key is to, number one, use an approach that's gonna be convincing. Number two, give an introduction, okay, before you ask them. And number three, just justify it. Just in case they tell you no, just give them a little bit more information on why they should consider whatever you're asking. To go to the car and look for the proof of insurance, to use a debit card, to proof of residency or VIN numbers if we're looking at, if we're trying to gather their information and they don't have a VIN number and you're asking them to call maybe a relative at home and they're telling you, no, I don't want to do it. So this is a way of getting all that information without the customer giving you a negative response. Any questions as far as the whole idea, or not the idea, but mainly the purpose of asking for information?
Oh, no, not at all.
So just, once again, introduce information before asking them for, the documents or proof of insurance, whatever you're asking them.
Eliminate the questions before they even come.
Exactly. Give them information so they have no questions.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, anything additional to that?
No.
All right, perfect.